The next thing that we're going to look into is the quotient rule. Okay, so the quotient rule. Now, how do we do this quotient rule in deriving the derivatives of a function? Now, we found this one. So, d over dx, or the derivative of the quotient of f function over the g function is the same as, let's try to have. Now notice that I will get the product of the g function multiplied with its with the derivative of the f function. So I have in here g of x multiplied by the f prime of x and minus the original f function multiplied by g prime of x, and of course divided by the square of the g function. So we have in here. Now, so that for us to understand this one, for us to illustrate, we use our example. Okay? Again, in here, let's try to identify where is z function and where is f function. Our f function in here is the numerator. Okay? So our f function is the numerator. That is, we say f of x is equal to 2x raised to 2 plus 2x. After that one, we will get its derivative. So the derivative is the same as saying f prime of x is the same as 2 multiplied by 2. That is 2, that is x raised to 1, or that is the same as x, plus the derivative of 2x, which is the same as 2. So meaning to say, this must be the derivative of f function that we are talking. Okay? F function that we are talking, f prime of x is equal to 4x plus 4. Now, what about the g? The g is actually the denominator. Okay? So g function, our g function is g of x is the same as 3x. Okay? 3x minus 5. Okay? Minus 5. Now in here, we will be getting again its derivative. And so what is the derivative? We say g prime of x is the same as, what is the derivative? 3. Okay? 3. What is the derivative of negative 15? That is the same as 0. And so our derivative now is, we have this one. G prime of x is the same as 3. Now with this, we can now apply this one. Okay? So having said that one, we are now ready to get the derivative, and so our derivative now, y prime, what is our, okay, what is our g? Our g is actually 3. The quantity, 3x minus 5. Now what is the derivative of f function? So we have in here f prime of x, so we have this one. Okay? That is to be multiplied by 4x plus 2. 4x plus 2. And of course, minus. Okay? What is the original f function? Our f function is 2x raised to 2 plus 2x. Okay? And definitely, that is the same as multiplied by the g prime of x, or the derivative of g function, which is the same as multiplied by 3. Okay? So we have it here. Now, of course, our denominator raise the g of x to the second power. What is the g of x? That is the quantity 3x minus 5 raised to 2. Okay? So after that one, that's the time we're going now to simplify, if we can simplify them. Multiply and add or subtract the similar terms. So let's try to have. Okay? Let's try to have. Notice that when we are going to multiply, let's try to do this one. Okay? So that is the same as y prime. Let's try to multiply. 3x multiplied by 4x, so that is the same as 12x raised to 2. Multiply this one, 3x multiplied by 2, it will give you plus 6 6x. And how about this one? It will give you that is the same as minus 20x. How about this one? That is minus 10. Okay, minus 10. Definitely, we distribute this one. So that is 3 multiplied by 2x raised to 2. It will give you 6x raised to 2 multiplied by negative. And so we have negative 6x raised to 2. Now what about this one? Multiply, that is the same as 6x. And so multiplied with negative, it will give you negative 6x. So that one. Now after that, that's the time you can also expand. Okay? Expand this one. Again, before we expand this one, may we first press, let's just try to do this one and just clear this one so that we can see we might be having a hard way of reducing them if that is reducible. But if that is not reducible, it will be maintained the expanded form, or it will be maintained this one. Okay, so that is, we have in here the quantity 3x minus 5 raised to 2. Okay? Now, having said that one, we are now going to add the similar term. So we have in here 12x raised to 2. Is there another similar term? This one. So minus x raised to 2. So we have 6, okay, x raised to 2. Okay? What about this one? This is the same as positive 6x, negative 6x, that is 0. Okay? And we will maintain minus 20x. Okay? And of course, this one constant, and so that is the same as minus 10. Okay, minus 10. Okay. Now, so that you notice the result would be that is the same as expanded form. Okay, the expanded form. So that is the same as 3x raised to 2. It will give you 9. Okay, 9x raised to 2. Okay, multiply, that is negative 15x. Okay, negative 15x multiplied by 2. That is minus 13x. And raised to 2, that is plus, okay, that is the same as plus 25. As you notice, you cannot have the common factor. And so if you do not have the common factor, then we might say that this is the final answer. Okay? This is the final answer of the given problem, that is the same as the quotient of the derivative, or the quotient of 2x raised to 2 plus 2x over 3x minus 5. And so what is the derivative we have in here? Okay, so that is the derivative. Now what about if we will be having next problem? Okay, so we might be having a next problem. Say we have in here that is the same as number 2. Let's try to put in here number 2. So we have, shall we say, y is equal to 4x raised to 3 plus x raised to 2 over, that is the same as 5x plus x raised to 3. Okay? So to do that one again, we have to identify where is f, where is g. So our f, okay, our f is this one, so f of x. And our g is, we have here the denominator, g of x. Okay, now having said that one, that's the time we're going to individually get the derivative, and then after that one, we follow this pattern. Okay, so that if we have our f of x, okay, our f of x to be our numerator, that is f of x is equal to 4x raised to 3 plus x raised to 2. Now we can have now its derivative by saying f prime of x is equal to, multiply this one, that is 12, okay, x minus 1 in here, so x raised to 2. Now what about in here? Multiply it in here, that is the same as plus 2x, okay, So 1 minus 2 minus 1, that is the same as 1, and so that is x raised to 1, or just the same as saying x, okay? Okay, so that is the f prime. Now what about the g of x? So for the g of x, let's try to have it in here, okay? G of x, our g of x is divided by our denominator. So our denominator in here is, we have 5x plus 3 plus x raised to 3, okay? And so we have that one. Now we are now ready to get the derivative. So the derivative is g prime of x is the same as what is the derivative of 5x. Just say 5, okay? What about this one? That is the same as 3x raised to 2. And so that is the derivative. Now having said that one, we are now ready to apply the form. Okay, we are now ready to apply the form by saying, okay, we can now say that our derivative, okay, so the derivative we have in here is the same as y prime, okay, y prime of what? And let's try to have, what is your original g of x? Our g of x is, we have in here, so our g of x is, we have 5x plus x raised to 3, okay, multiplied by the derivative of the f function. What is the derivative of the f function? We have in here, that is the same as 12x raised to 2 plus 2x minus, so we have now in here, that is the same as minus. So we say minus, what is your f of x? Our f of x is, we have the numerator, 4x raised to 3 plus x raised to 2, okay? Multiplied by the derivative of our denominator, which is g of x, okay? So what is the derivative? That is the same as 5 plus 3x raised to 2, okay? So that is our numerator. So what about our denominator? Our denominator is the square, okay? The square of our denominator, 5x plus x raised to 3 raised to the second power, as we say, raised, g of x raised to the second power. Now having said that one, that's the time we're going to multiply now, okay? Let's try to have the, let's try to multiply. So before we're going to multiply, let's try to do this one, okay? So when we multiply, that is the same as 5x multiplied by 12x raised to 2, it will give you 60, okay? 60x raised to 3. 5x multiplied by this one, it will give you plus 10x raised to 2. 10x raised to 2. Now what about this one? If we multiply, okay? If we multiply this one, it will give you plus 12x raised to 5. Then multiply this one, it will give you plus 2x raised to 4. Okay? Now, that's the time we're going to do it also this one, but of course, we say minus. Okay, minus muna tayo. That's something subtraction. Okay? And of course, before we're going to subtract, let's try to have first the product. So 4x raised to 3 multiplied by this one, it will give you 20. Okay, 20x raised to 3. Now what about this one? It will give you that is the same as plus 12x and 5. Okay. Now plus this one, that is the same as this one, that is the same as 5x raised to 2. Okay. And what about this one? It will give you now plus 3x raised to 4, okay, raised to raised to 4. Of course, that is enclosed with parentheses. Okay? That is enclosed with parentheses. Now, to continue, we have this one that is the same as, again, we can expand immediately. Okay? So that is the same as what is the square of 5x. 5x, that is the same as 20. We have in here 25x raised to 2. Shortcut time. So for the middle term, that is 2 constant 2 multiplied by 5x multiplied by x raised to 3. So that is, it will give you plus 10 multiplying this one. So that is the same as x raised to 4. Okay, raised to 4. And raise this one to the second power. That is the same as plus x raised to 6. Okay, x raised to 6. So that is y prime. Okay, y prime. Now notice that after doing that, we will be getting the, we'll be combining the similar terms. We'll be subtracting similar terms. Okay, so let's try it now. Okay, now notice that when we are going to look into this one, that is, we have to distribute the result. Okay, so it will give you. Let's try to do first this one. So, can we combine some? We cannot combine some. Okay? We cannot combine some. And so, let's try to distribute. So, this will be negative. Okay? This will be negative. This will be, yeah? This will be negative. No. We just try to write it down again. Okay? So, we have negative 20x raised to 3 minus 12x raised to 5 minus 5x raised to 2 minus 3x raised to 4. Okay? And of course, that is the same as positive 16x raised to 3. How about this one? Plus 10x raised to 2 plus this one, 12x raised to 5 plus 2x raised to 4. Okay, so that's the time we're going to combine similar terms. So let's write out first this one. Okay, 25x raised to 2 plus 10x raised to 4 plus x raised to 6. Now, notice that when we're going to have now, we can have now the final answer saying y prime is equal to, let's try to do it again. So we have this one. Okay. So 60x raised to 3. Or this one first, the one that is raised to 5. 12x raised to 5 is with this one, okay? So this is 0. So it has companion which is negative. So this one must be 0. Okay, 0. Another one is we have 10x. 10x raised to, this one first, this one. Okay? So we have in here, that is the same as 2x raised to 4. That is the same as 3x raised to 4. So what remains in here now is negative. Okay? You subtract, it will be negative x raised to 4. So this one, already done. Already done with this. I will box it. Okay? So that we can mark what is being done. Okay, another one is, we have it here. 10x raised to 2, or this one. Okay, 60x raised to 3, 20x raised to 3. This is already what? This is already done. Okay, so I can do this one. So there is the marking. So that is 40. Okay, we have that is the same as 40x x raised to 3 and 40x raised to 3. And another one we have in here that is the same as, let's try to make this one to be oblong. Okay, make this one to be oblong. So positive 10x raised to 2, negative 10x with negative 5x raised to 2. It will give you positive. Okay, it will give you positive 5x raised to 2. And so we can now answer, we can now finalize now our answer. So if we are going to finalize now our answer, you immediately arrange it to the descending order. So negative, okay? We have in here negative x raised to 4, followed by 40, positive 40, x raised to 3, okay? Followed by x raised to 3, and then followed by plus 5x raised to 2, okay? 5x raised to 2. And over that is the same as, we have in here, let's try to arrange x raised to 6, and of course plus 10x raised to 4, and of course that is the same as plus 5x raised to 2. Now notice that when you're going to have this one, when you're going to notice our final answer, our final answer can be reducible, okay? So as you can see, in the numerator, it has a common factor. What is the common factor? That is the same as x raised to 2, okay? Now what about in here? What is the common factor? That is the same as, of course, this is 25, okay? 20 plus 25x raised to 2. So notice we can factor out that one. So our final answer could be what? Our final answer could be when we factor out 2, it will give you now what remains in the numerator, factor out 2, that is to be subtracted. And so what remains in here is negative x raised to 2. How about this one? What remains is plus 40x. What remains in here? Plus 5 plus 5. Okay? And what about in here? What remains is we have x raised to 4. Okay? What about this one? Plus 10x raised to 10x raised to 2. Okay? Raised to 2. And what remains in here is plus 25. Okay? Plus 25. And so, for our final answer, this will be the final answer. Okay? This will be the final answer. But of course, before you say this is the final answer, you have to go over again. Okay? You have to go over, you have to review it again. Okay? So that is how to do the problem. Okay? That's how to apply the problem.